Hi guys. Today we're going to read the Ocean Alphabet book. It's an ABC book all about animals or things that's related to the ocean. Let's read it. Alright, for letter A, that's the letter A, we have the Atlantic Ocean. That's the name of an ocean. The fish and other creatures in this book live in the North Atlantic Ocean. Let's see what kind of fish and animals are in the North Atlantic Ocean. B. B is for bluefish. Everyone loves to catch bluefish because they love to fight. What? Their teeth are very, very sharp, so don't ever put your fingers in their mouth. Scary. C. C is for cod. Cod can be found everywhere in the North Atlantic Ocean. Some grow to be as big as a 10-year-old boy or girl. Wow. Can you imagine that? A fish that is as big as your big brothers or sisters? Pretty big fish. D. D is for dogfish. They are also known as spiny dogfish. They're little sharks. Every dogfish has a barb on its back and a barb on its tail. Oh, it has little spikes on its back, on its tail. Interesting. Alright, what letter is that? E. Let's see. E is for eel. Eels are slimy. It means that you can't just hold them. They just slip out of your hand. Eels are long and thin like snakes. If you do not like to hold snakes, then you probably would not like to hold eels either. F. That's a big F, and that's a small f. F is for fiddler crab. Most crabs have claws that are the same size, but the fiddler crab has one big claw and one small claw. G. It's the letter G. G is for goosefish. A goosefish is ugly looking. It has lots of teeth. Its mouth is as big as its body. And a goosefish are also called a monkfish. H. H is for haddock. A haddock looks a lot like a cod. Behind a haddock's side fin, there is a dark spot that looks like a fingerprint. Cool. Letter I. I is for ink. Well, that's not a fish, or that's not an animal. Ink is what comes out of a squid. When a squid is getting attacked or it gets scared, it sprays this really black water. That's called an ink, so that it can escape. J. J is for jellyfish. Jellyfish are soft and gooey and see-through. Their dangling arms can sting you if you touch them. And K. That's the letter K. K is for killer whale. I love killer whales. Killer whales are mammals. They're not fish. They are very beautiful and can jump completely out of the water. Wow. Cool. L. L is for lobster. Lobsters are reddish green and blue. When they're cooked, they turn bright red. They have 2 claws that can pinch. And they have 8 legs, and they also have 2 antennas that help them find out where their food are. They go like this. Can you do that? Can you be a lobster too? Look for food? Food, 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 food. M. M is for minnow. Minnows are little fish. Usually they are only as big as your fingers. They can only be found in shallow waters, marshlands, and creeks. See, it's as small as your finger, so like this. This is how big a minnow is supposed to be. like my finger. N. N is for northern puffer. If you touch a puffer, it will blow up itself like a balloon. So it would be like this kind of fish, and then when you touch it, it goes pfft. That's cool. Can you do that? Can you blow up like a balloon? No, because you're not a puffer fish. All right, O. O is for octopus, right there. See the octopus? The octopus is scary looking, but it will not hurt you. It's not really scary looking. It has 8 arms. Huh, can you imagine shaking hands with an octopus? It would take all day. We only have 2. And an octopus has 8. Has 8 arms. And they're very smart. They're very, very smart. P. P is for periwinkle. Periwinkles live inside shells. They can be found in the rocks at low tide. Some people call them snails. Periwinkle, that's also a color. Q. Q is for quahog? Did I say that right? Anyway, there are clams that have hard shells, and seagulls manage to open them all by themselves. Small quahogs are called cherry stones and little necks. R. R is for redfish. You know why it's called a redfish? Because that fish is red. So it's called a redfish. Redfish are caught in very deep water. They are oily, and lobstermen use them as bait to catch lobsters. All right, letter S. Letter S is for scallop. Scallops are like clams, and they have pretty shells. There are many other creatures whose names begin with S. Do you know what other animals start with S? Sharks, salmon, shrimp, what else? Starfish, snails, whale, well, it's the ocean, so sea snails, a sunfish, and then there is a shell that's called the sand dollar. Pretty cool, huh? All right, T. T is for tuna. Everybody has heard of tuna. When they're grown up, they are almost as big as cars. That's a really, really big fish. Can you imagine a fish? Seeing a fish as big as mommy's car or daddy's car. That's a big, gigantic fish. Jeez. All right. Letter U. U is for urchin. Urchins are round with hundreds of sharp little spines sticking out of their shells. If you're barefoot, if you're not wearing any shoes, try not to step on one. They're gonna be owie. V. Look at that fish. That's scary looking. That is called a viper fish. Viper fish live in deep, dark waters. They have lights inside their mouths and along their sides to attract food. What? They live at the bottom part of the ocean. And so they have lights in their mouth. That's how they trick their food. Scary. This is another scary fish. What fish is that? It starts with W. That's the letter W. W is for wolffish. Wolffish have large teeth and strong jaws that are used to open their favorite foods like quahogs, scallops, clams, and mussels. They love seashells. Shellfish. That's what they call shellfish. X. Well, we cannot think of any fish whose name begins with the letter X. Can you? I don't know either. But, found one. X is for Xiphias gladius. Well, that's a scientific name for swordfish. Oh, let's talk about the swordfish. It's called a swordfish because it has this really, really, really long nose and it's really sharp, and they use it to attack their prey. They go. That's why they're called swordfish. Y. Y is for yellowtail flounder. Yellowtails are flatfish with both eyes on one side of their heads, and they are called yellowtails because their tails are yellow. Their tails are yellow. And look, both their eyes are on one side. Ooh. And Z. Z is for zillions, and that's how many fish and mammals and stuff we have in the ocean. Zillions and zillions of creatures. The end. That was a really long book, huh? Do you think you guys can remember like anything from this book? I hope you do. I remember the Xiphias gladius, which is the swordfish. And my favorite, the killer whale. There, it's a killer whale. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this book. So, let's read another book some other time, okay?